Students, your time has come. I have decided that it's time to share some of my knowledge with you. That's right. Do you want to become a true legendary professional wrestling character? Do you want to learn how to project your voice, to enunciate, to come up with the greatest promos that you possibly could? Then you need to join me each and every week for just $50. I am hosting a masterclass on Zoom. That's right. You don't have to travel. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. I will teach you how to become the greatest character you can be. I will help you discover who you truly are. I will help you with taglines, promos, etc., etc. Join me for just $50 a week in a masterclass of wrestling character development. There's a reason they call us the masters of wrestling. Indeed, there is, students, but they also call us the leader in sports entertainment podcasting. I am the Master Amir. He is my tag team partner, former NXT tag team champion, the Fixer, Martin Stone. How you doing?
Bonjour, Amir. How are you?
Bonjour, Martin. Ça va bien?
Yeah.
A little bit of French there for our French and Canadian contingent, which we have. We've also got fans down in Australia as well now, Martin. I saw in our last.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So one of our fans actually gave us the stats for AEW's turnout, which just took place down there. Apparently, out of a 2,500-seat arena, only 1,600 tickets were sold, and probably 500 of those were comped, I am sure, Martin. But nonetheless, I digress. I digress. Welcome, everybody. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you hype this video so we can push it out into the algorithm. Go and call your friends and family. Get them on board. Load up your super chats because we want to engage with you. And also, if you want a free question, every single live stream answered, if you want a shout out every single live stream, then you need to hit that join button, become a channel member right now for just $4.99 a month. What are you waiting for? It's the price of a cup of coffee. It ignites the fuel that is the passion that is the Masters of Wrestling. Okay, Martin, bunch of stuff's going on in the world right now. One of the biggest topics this week was old powerhouse Hobbs, the man that made his now perhaps legendary debut and exit from the WWE in one fell swoop at the Royal Rumble that took place in Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. News came out this week. Well, first of all, people were thinking it's strange that Hobbs is not appearing on Monday Night Raw. He's not on SmackDown. You notice how weird that was?
Kind of, yeah, like just it was a big thing. I didn't see the Rumble, but I did like how they did the name transition, which is it's a the transition of that got completely lost, but that was an old thing they did with Finn Balor. He had his old name come up, Prince Devitt, and then it swirled and swooped, and then it came out into Finn Balor. So I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool. But obviously, I'm assuming Saudi Arabia didn't know who Hobbs was because I'm assuming they don't get AEW.
No, they don't.
But yeah, so and then all of a sudden now he's kind of just gone.
Yeah, well, there's a reason he left. And again, you'd think of a man his age would know better. So apparently Hobbs, a.k.a. the man who has now lost the keys to his Rolls Royce, that is his WWE contract, is 41 years of age. Now, first of all, I got no problems with that, okay? 41, I think the man is at his peak. And to be honest, if I was running a multi-billion-dollar company, I wouldn't even consider anybody under the age of 35. Because quite honestly, I don't think anybody under that age, Martin, has the wealth of experience in their mind and their intellect to be in that position. You're going to say something.
Did he tell them he was younger then?
He told them he was younger. Yes. He told now the idiocy here just is to no end. Because I don't know what possessed him to think that once they start paying him his direct deposits or giving him his checks or filling out his tax information, that if he gave him his social security number with a false age, that they wouldn't find out about it. Yeah.
Oh my God, that sucks.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean, didn't the Boogeyman do that as well? Wasn't that?
The Boogeyman did it, but think back and think about this, Martin. Put this in your cross space. What was the big gaffe that WWE did when they brought out Hobbs at the Royal Rumble? Who was in that ring with him at the same time?
Oh, the new the dude who's just been called up from NXT, right?
Yes, I'm your only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Obi-Femi, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Why would you bring this? Yeah.
So you bring out Powerhouse Hobbs at the same time that the man who looks very similar to you is in the ring. Okay? So what do? One X's out the other. At the time of Boogeyman, who's a tremendous guy, by the way, I've had the pleasure of being in his company.
Guy. Yeah, super nice guy.
You're a really nice guy. But again, he was ahead of his time. Look how creative he was. I doubt Powerhouse Hobbs is not very creative. I heard that actually the reason he calls himself Royce Keys, and I had a genius idea for why you call him Royce Keys. I'm going to share it with you, Martin. I think you remember why. But apparently it's his son. His son's name, I guess, is Royce. And I guess his mother's maiden name is Keys. And that's why he went with the whole Royce Keys thing.
Again, unless you are unless your name value is so big, they are always going to make you change your name. They did, for certain people, it's because, well, we don't want people linking you to another company, which I think that's going to be more and more now. Yeah. But, when I was first there, I asked, I said, how comes I've got to change my name? They were, excuse me, how comes I've got to change my name? And they straight up said, because we want to be able to rebrand you and say, we created you.
Wow.
So, well, So, but unless you're someone like a Cody Rhodes, when you're going to be able to walk it. I mean, again, he was already there anyway. Yeah. But he'd amassed such a name for himself. You can't, Cody Rhodes can't turn up as like Jack Tucker, or it's not going to work. So
exactly,
yeah. I mean, that's kind of a silly move to, try and say you're younger when obviously, again, as you said. You got to start filing paperwork to get paid and stuff. You got to put your social down, so they're going to find out real quick. But what's sad to that point? Why should talent have to potentially lie about their age?
Because
that's the ridiculous stigma of we only want you if you're 25 and under. Like, just it's no good. Like that's
right. But that created that nonsense. The man who's going to find his way out of the WWE hiring position. Well, now he is, because he's second to one of your dear buddies, William Regal, a man we got a lot of respect for, one of the greats from the UK, and that's that idiot Gabe Kapowski, the man who thinks he knows what wrestling is, who's never set foot in the ring before. So,
I mean, the 25 and under thing, that was first implemented realistically by John Laurinaitis. That was...
Johnny Ace. We're going to get on the subject of that.
That was one of his big things. You had to be 6 foot or taller, lean, and 25 and under. That was the So again, I don't think that's necessarily Gabe trying to put that in, but I just hate the fact that talent feels like in this day and age that I'm too old. It's like, dude, he's how old? 41?
41 is at his peak.
Well,
man.
I mean, that's to that point, I got told when I turned 40 and I was recovering from my second shoulder surgery, I got told I was too old for TV and I got made to be a coach.
Well, again, but who was in charge at the time? It was, yeah. But again, I think it's ridiculous too, because like I've said before, you hire people that are 35 and up. You're guaranteed to work someone who's well-adjusted. They've lived life. They've been kicked in the teeth a few times. They know professionalism, at least you would hope. I mean, some of them don't. We're going to be getting onto the subject of MJF and Brody King in AEW shortly here. But again, Hobbs, now people are probably out there saying, oh, so what? He lied about his age. He should stay with the company. Wrong. You've already started off on the wrong foot. You already lied to your employee. I doubt at this point they're going to keep him. So
he's not been let go. He's just disappeared off TV.
He's disappeared. No mention of him. But you brought up a valid point to me the other day, though. You said, well, if he did make this false step, what if there's a clause in that contract once they can him? What is that clause, Martin? What could it possibly be?
Well, I mean, potentially. I mean, you're looking at all the stuff that happened with Andrade. Are they now because are they going to be that mad that he tried to lie about his age, and they're going to say, okay, well, you're gone, but you got a year's no compete. That's
Could it have been okay? Here's another way to look at it. Again, it could be a blessing in disguise for WWE because once they saw him come to the ring, which by the way, he didn't package himself. I noticed that he came to the ring looking just like Powerhouse Hobbs. No different ring gear. He was just the same as the last time you saw him in AEW, right? Mm-hmm. Am I wrong? He looked just the same. So maybe when they saw him offset of your only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi, when they saw the two of them in the ring together, maybe they thought, oh, damn, what have we done? But then when he gifted them the fact that he lied to them about his age, they, okay, great, get rid of him. Because it's a bad investment. You don't have two guys that are the same. Or at least, like I said before, here's how I would have repackaged him myself. This is what I would have done. Royce Keys, huh? I would have made him a very wealthy man, probably some kind of businessman or something, a guy who lives in a mansion, stuff like that, comes out with the suit, the shades, and everything else. Royce being his Rolls Royce, Keys being the keys to the Rolls Royce. That's the gimmick I would have given him. But of course, you and I send invoices to my Uncle Paul all the time with the creative ideas we feed him through this channel. None of them get used because, again, they're surrounded by idiots. But at the end of the day, right, that's how you would have put him over. You just brought him out as Powerhouse Hobbs. Nobody cares. That's why Tony Khan didn't fight to keep him there. He didn't care. He knew he was a dud. Bottom line.
I understand why they debuted him at the Rumble. It's the perfect time to do it. But I think, personally, for me, I would have held off and I would have debuted him in America.
Yep.
Just so, he would have had more fan interaction and stuff like that,
Well, maybe 200,000 people out of the 500 that watch Dynamite on a weekly basis may have known who he was. But at the end of the day, like you said, they bring him out as if he's some kind of international superstar. I barely heard about this guy. All right. And I guess he's been on TV for 5 years or something like that?
Yeah, he's pretty good in ring. I'm not going to fault him. Like, he is pretty good, and he's got a backstory as well. So it's he came through hard times and stuff like that. So there's definitely something there, but just I just think it sucks that he felt that he felt the need to have to lie about his age. That sucks.
Well, like I said before, I mean, there is things that are forgivable, of course, in life. We're not totally, insensitive people. But at the end of the day, when you come into a company and you're writing out your social security number and you're giving them a false date of birth and you're looking them at the eye and it's $1 billion company, if I would expect Hobbs to be out there on the unemployment line after this, because there's no way that they're going to keep him. After he lied to them like that, that's why you're not seeing him on TV. So he's gone. Mm-hmm. But again, the question is, does he crawl back to Tony Khan's crib, his playhouse? Does he crawl back to Tony Khan's action figure collection? Will Tony Khan want him back after this? Can he even go back if there's a clause in the contract that says you can't work anywhere else for 12 to 18 months? At that point, he's really, done himself in, because he's going to be 42, 43. Not that that's passe, but it's just wasted another year and a half of his life.
Yeah. I would like to think they'll look at it, and if he pleads his case and just say, hey, this is, this is what you put out there in terms of, so it was a panic thing, it was a threat. Like, I'd like to think they'd be able to look past that, because it is just an age thing. I'd like to think
not going to happen, Martin. Not going to happen.
Yeah, we'll
not going to happen.
Watch this space, I guess, is the term.
Watch this space, but I'm telling you right now, the man lied to management. He falsified documents. He's done. He's toast. That's why you don't see him on Raw. That's why you don't see him on SmackDown. You're probably going to see him back over on AEW. They did him a favor by saying Powerhouse Hobbs in that entrance video, because that's exactly what he's going to go back to being. But anyway, so just saying. I'm just calling it the way it is, Martin. But speaking of AEW, they've gotten themselves in more trouble. More trouble. So this week, I happened to see a congressional hearing with Ted Cruz and the powers that be at Netflix and Warner Brothers. They were all having a debate because Warner Brothers and Netflix are under the magnifying glass right now because the Senate is saying, hey, you know what? You're about to create a monopoly in the United States, and we want to make sure that you're not just using it as a propaganda machine to push your agenda onto people when they're watching entertainment, okay? So then what happens? This week on AEW Dynamite, there's no Brody King and there's no MJF. And this is not a coincidence, students. They were pulled from that show by the executives because Brody King came out the other week and took politics and put it into pro wrestling, which is a no-no. We saw what that did to the Grammys, okay? Years ago, the Grammys had, I see him in the link. I emailed you the link, my friend. Check your spams. I emailed you the link. Sorry, I'm just conducting some business here while we're live here. But what's that?
No, I'm reading the comments. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, it looks like we've got it looks like we got a jabroni in our comments section there. Yeah, you see that jabroni right there? Yeah. You keep that up, pal. I'm going to eliminate you from this chat permanently. But anyway, so what I was going to say was so they were pulled from TV because Warner Brothers are involved in this big acquisition deal, and they've already been categorically told, if you push any propaganda on our public here, if you use it as a sounding board to try and put out your own thoughts and stuff, we don't want that. So they've pulled Brody King off of TV and MJF because Brody King wore a T-shirt, right, the other day.
Okay.
That was quite offensive. And he had no jurisdiction doing that on TV. And I guess MJF's been running his mouth on interviews and stuff about his political views because that's what they do when they're trying to get into Hollywood. They try and enter the political sphere. I don't know why they call it acting, Martin. They may as well just call it politics in the media.
I mean, politics is it's a dicey game to play when you're on TV each week. It's because no matter what you say, someone's going to take it the wrong way. That's why I keep all of my political views and my religious views. I keep it out of everything because someone is always going to have something to say that doesn't align with whatever you feel, and that's fine. It's a free world. You can believe what you want. It's that's just the chant was pretty loud. Thank you, Magic Crazy, right there. Yes, indeed, it is oversensitive, overly dramatized. You know what they used to say years ago? People were overly dramatized and over insensitive. You know what they call them? What's that?
Back in the day, you know what we would call people that are overly dramatized and overly sensitive?
Go on then.
Little girls. Right. Okay, yeah. So that's what we used to say back in the day, Martin. But it's the same thing, right? At the end of the day, it's too much. Yeah. You see that?
Well, damn. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to say some things if you want the world to change. You do it in a constructive manner. You don't go out there and include it in ways that are, just over the top. But by the way, it looks like we got someone invading our channel right now, students. We have an invader here. What? So, we've got an invasion of sorts here. Here he is, the man himself. It is,
my man.
It is the stylist, Rico Costantino. Rico, my man.
How you doing?
Tremendous.
I've been listening to the show, and let me tell you, I had to call you. I had to break in.
Yeah.
I had to break in.
What do you think,
especially, Rico? This lying about your age.
Yeah.
I didn't lie about mine. I told them exactly how old I was. Before I signed the big contract, I told them that at OVW. I was 38 and a half. When Jim Cornette, when I did that 10-day tryout, Tom Pritchard actually told Jim Cornette that I was 38 and a half, and he flipped his lid. He goes, "What? You can't do that stuff. I thought you were 25." And I said, "I was once." No, I'm 38 and a half. Hey, yeah, you know how Cornette flies around. So, oops.
Oh.
The wind took me. I'm out on the Ponderosa.
Yep.
And the wind. I'm out of my styling gear, and I'm in my regular gear. Just regular clothes.
What's the temperature out there, Rico? It looks like it's a nice summer day.
It's 65.
Perfect weather.
Yeah.
And it's nice. So when I got to that's why they were gonna cut me. After I did the tryout, I went to OVW with Cornette, July 1999, and then after I worked a while, like I've said before, they were going to cut me. And Stone Cold, JR, Danny Davis, and Jim Cornette, when WWE came to Louisville, Kentucky, had to sit down with Stephanie. Damn it! Had to sit down with Stephanie and told her, give him a chance, give him 90 days. If you can't think of nothing, then cut him. Yeah. You're paying him, so bring him out. So they did, and then I got my gimmick, which no help to creative. We've already discussed that, but you don't lie about your age, because that already shows you don't have high standards.
Well, it also, you know what else it shows, Rico? And I was saying to Martin, it shows that your IQ is pretty damn low, because what possesses you to think once you fill out your social security number and put your thing that someone's not going to find out?
Yeah.
Well, wow.
Power slam.
Yeah. I say this from my police career. I never caught a smart crook. I always caught the dumb ones.
Yeah.
Smart ones get away with stuff.
Which does lead me to believe, for him to debut at the Rumble, he obviously didn't sign any paperwork before that.
Or nobody did a background check.
That too.
I mean, again, that's exactly, because those background checks are so extensive. Like when I first got, they literally background checked me throughout all of Europe before they even looked at me here, so it's...
Yeah. I used to do the same thing when I was a private investigator.
Yeah.
For insurance companies. I'd get the client. I'd do a massive background search on them. Not at my cost, of course, the insurance company's cost, but I knew everything this person did. Yeah. And when they have habits. So what you do is, to investigate them, you find out what their niche is. Bowling, strip clubs, whatever. And then you just sneak in and do what you have to do. So, I'm not a good liar, so I wouldn't make a good crook. So, I chose to be a cop.
I just feel it's sad that talent feel like they have to, cover it up, because God forbid, I understand if someone has had no experience in life and they've not been a wrestler, I understand trying to hire them younger, because it takes a while to get this. But if someone's good to go, it don't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Well, isn't it? Wasn't it our buddy Johnny Ace that developed that pre-ritual 25?
25, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't 25, and I wasn't 6 foot.
Yeah.
Maybe was I.
And I only wrestled, but when I got called up for the tryout, 8 months, 12 matches.
Yep.
I was green behind this ear, wet behind this one.
Yeah.
And here I am with a WWE developmental. So somebody saw something, and I believe it was Cornette, and then it was Davis, and then JR. JR used to have the JR report and report on all the WWE territories, Heartland, Power Pro, OVW, and he'd talk about the talent in his Ross report. So, that helped a lot. And when you get Stone Cold's backing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the thing is this, though, as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about this as well. Thinking about the people like Hobbs and stuff like this. Obviously an athlete, obviously a powerhouse, every pun intended. But at the end of the day, Rico, what separated you from the pack, why you got it so fast, is because you are a natural-born entertainer, much like many of the guys were in the WWE. Paul Roma, I believe, our dear co-star over on Power and Glory in this channel, I believe he was whisked into WWE in 6 weeks. I think it was 6 weeks of training, and that's it. Because either you get it or you don't. It's the bottom line.
Yeah. Vince said this. You either have it or you don't have the it.
Yeah.
It's clear, and I guess I must have had it for him to give me the chance. Other people saw the it around me, and just thank Jesus and God that I had the opportunity. It wasn't a long run, but it was an impactful run.
Yeah. Right. And that's it. You made a more impact in your few years, 4 or 5 years, than most make in 20. So I mean, they could hang around for 20 years, and I don't think they're going to make that much of an impact. The whole thing is, it's character. We've talked about this, Martin, so many times before. Yep. When someone goes, "Oh, they put on a good match," well, that doesn't mean shit. I mean, Hulk Hogan. Do I remember his match? I remember Hulk Hogan. I remember you. I remember Macho Man. That's what makes the difference. A good match is only appealing to a fine, small niche audience, and they're dwindling by the day.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, no, please finish. Sorry.
Go ahead, Martin. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, obviously there comes a point when the bell rings, but this is sports entertainment at the end of the day. It's, so it's.
That's what I've been saying. It's sports entertainment. It's sports entertainment. And you got, and that's why on podcast I stress that if you have a character, in my choice, I didn't have a choice. I was going to be the stylist. Vince told me plain and simple. And I said, well, what do I do? He goes, flesh it out, and walked away. So I got no help. The stylist character I developed on my own, thinking, okay, this is going to be entertaining. I can make this entertaining with these gaudy chops, the clothes I wore. I'm going to make the people hate me. They're going to dream about me and hate me in their sleep.
But there was a statement. I think it was Jim Cornette that made the statement. And he said that Hulk Hogan could literally have just been booked on a card, come out, done this, and they still would have sold out the building just to see him do that. So again, this is where I disparage the other, thought process that they have to be this, they have to be that, they have to do this in the ring. Because ultimately, if you understand TV and storytelling fully, a good bad guy against a good guy, whatever the sequence is of that brawl, of that fight, they're tuning in to watch this guy either beat this guy or this guy overcome this guy. That's it. Beyond that, you can do all the somersaults, backflips. You can teleport from one side of the ring to the other. You can fly through the air. It's not going to make a difference.
You don't have that basic story. It's,
No. Yeah. Hogan, I heard Hogan say once, as a wrestler, on a scale of 1 to 10, he's about a 3.
Yeah.
As an entertainer, scale of 1 to 10, he was a 20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's it.
His
plain and simple.
Was outstanding. Like before he got to being Hulk Hogan, so it always makes me laugh when people are like, "Oh, Hogan couldn't wrestle." Yes, he could. He just didn't have to.
Yeah.
No, didn't have to. I remember going over a match when it was Billy Chuck and I against him and Edge. It was July 4th, and I was listening to Hogan talk. He goes, "Okay, brother, I'm gonna get in there and okay, yeah, get some, let me get my shine in, and you get me some heat. Blah blah blah. I'll know the time, and when you punch me and I give you then it's time to go. Then we go to the finish." Yeah. I mean, that was it.
That's
really simple.
Look at this. Look at this gentleman.
I guess we've got super chat, haven't we? Sorry.
No, it's from one of our channel members, somebody who stepped out of the shadows and into the spotlight, a non-cheapskate member of our channel here, Matt Bannister. Bonsoir, Matthew. Comment ça va? He said, we need a Masters of Wrestling faction in WWE. The Master Amir, the Fixer, Martin Stone, Rico Constantino, and our dear friend from Cafe Delaunay, Rene Dupree.
The world is not ready for that.
The world would not be ready for that. I'll tell you why they wouldn't be ready for that, Matthew, because we would dominate, and everybody else would look pathetic in comparison to us. And that's why they wouldn't have that, because they need to keep everybody on the same level. They don't have superstars anymore, as is evident. So, but yeah, no. Another segment that took place this week, our dear buddy Ben Hameen reported on this because I happened to catch it. And, Ben is fantastic. He's been a guest here. He'll be back with us again soon. But they were talking about this segment that happened on Monday Night Raw between Becky Lynch and so that is Mr. Becky Lynch's wife, and AJ Lee, who is the corporate man, formerly CM Punk's wife. Okay, so they did a segment, and when you watch it to kick off Raw, Rico, the inability to convey emotion, to speak, to project a make-believe character is off the charts. These women have no clue. And Becky Lynch is actually looking ill. She's so frail. I don't know.
Recently, isn't she? She's lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
You know why she's lost weight?
Why is that?
Remember that statement she made? Rico, I told you about this earlier. She dropped a bombshell saying that there's a pervert backstage in WWE that still hits on women and propositions in them, and if they don't, they get blacklisted. Remember that, Martin? She came out on that podcast and said that a few months
ago. Yes.
And supposedly this person is still employed by WWE.
Wow. Yes, exactly. They're still employed. All right.
Yeah.
So she's carrying she's carrying something on her back right now. But not only that, again, like Ben suggested, whoever the hell her acting coach is, please fire them because they're awful. She has transitioned to Hollywood, just like many of the others. Now she's in the new Star Trek series. Can you believe that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know she was in She did Happy Gilmore too, didn't she? She was in that.
Was she an extra in that, like MJF?
Yeah. Well, MJF wasn't really an extra now, was he? Let's be real.
He was an extra, Martin. Come on.
Nah, he wasn't. He wasn't an extra. He was.
How many lines did he have?
He was Happy Gilmore's son, so he had quite a big role in that. He had quite a big role in that.
Let me tell you why he was in the movie, right? Let me tell you why he was in the movie.
He stole a few scenes as well. I'm not going to lie. He was actually very entertaining in that.
Well, let me tell you this right now.
You're going to hate me for saying that, Amir, I'm sure. But
let me put this into perspective. Adam Sandler felt sorry for the kid, okay? This is the backstory. He felt sorry for him. Adam Sandler's a big wrestling mark. He's an internet wrestling mark. He's not a sports entertainment mark. He's an internet wrestling mark. We know the difference between the two breeds of characters. And he felt sorry for MJF. Because, he's always getting the short end of the stick, every pun intended. And so he decided to invite him over and have him appear as his son, quote unquote, an extra in Happy Gilmore 2. That's how it happened right there. Now, I got the inside scoop directly from a source at Hollywood. He felt sorry for the kid. All right? He felt sorry. So that's all that's going on, people. What do we got? We got Adam Sandler praised him beyond belief. We can't be haters, laugh out loud. This is from one of our channel members here. I'm not hating. I'm just saying this guy, he's, like I said, he's just people are looking out for him.
This could be another factor. Maybe they're aspiring to be in Hollywood, in movies and stuff like that, because it paid off for The Rock. It did a little for Hulk, John Cena, Dave Bautista. He was part of that whole Guardians of the Galaxy saga. Maybe they're inspiring there. And maybe that's why their characters are dropping off in the sports entertainment world, because they're trying to go somewhere else, so they don't have 100% commitment to whatever they're doing. They're looking to the future. Yeah. So they're using sports entertainment as a stepping stone to get up to where they think they want to be.
Yeah.
Bring, good actors and stuff like that. I haven't seen MJF wrestle or act, so I can't say anything.
You're not missing anything.
Well, that's good. Then I'm not going to waste my time. But, there's always a motive behind somebody. And I'll put it as simple as this. I have horses, you know that. I had a shoer, a farrier, they call them, and he'd shoe the horses. Well, as time went on, his job was getting crappier. He was leaving the hooves a little long. Horses were not gaiting, galloping right and stuff like that. And later on, I fired him and I hired a new guy. Well, they're in the same circle. And I found out that my prior farrier wanted to be a horse trainer, not a farrier. So all his efforts went into being a trainer. So he was lacking for his customers as a farrier.
Yeah.
So he dropped off and his work wasn't as excellent as it was when I hired him.
Mm-hmm.
So take that story and fit that puzzle into what's going on now. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I said, but that's a possibility. They're inspiring to do something else.
Well, he is. If you go back into his past, there's a video that came out. I mean, this video, it's like you want to slap the little smirk off this little punk ass's face. Okay, so back in the day. Say what you
really mean. Say what you really mean.
I am going to say what I was inspired by you the other day, Rico. So if you go back, if you go back in history, there was a TV show. I think it was Rosie O'Donnell. Another, again, weird, strange woman. But anyway, nonetheless, she had on a very young Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Yeah, little punk back in the day when he was about 7 years old. And I can tell you what, he's probably one of those kids you just wanted to friggin' shove a bar of soap straight in his mouth, tell him to shut up, because he had that persona about him already. So anyway, he went on there singing opera, singing a little bit high, obviously, because he probably wanted to be in a choir or something back then, right?
Puberty hadn't hit,
but I bet he can still hit those high notes now, because I bet I don't know, he may have been castrated, but nonetheless, okay. But he was on that show.
Penalty, 15 yards, unnecessary roughness on the mirror.
Well, anyway, so he goes. So he's on this show singing, right? So he already wanted to be something more. He said he liked wrestling on that show, but you could already tell it didn't matter to him what he ended up doing. He just wanted to be in front of the camera. Just like Dwayne the Tooth Fairy Johnson. Same question, or same thing. So yes, they're using it as a stepping stone, and now people like Becky Lynch. But Martin has a hypothesis why they're doing this. Martin, why do you think they're all starting to think about secondary careers? What do you think, Martin?
I have again, this isn't set in stone, pardon the pun, or anything like that. I just think that if they are going to make this sale, I think a lot of people are now potentially thinking, well, if they're going to move this to Saudi, I ain't moving to Saudi, so we need to find something else to do. I could be way off base, because every part of me also does think, how can they run TV from Saudi? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a huge thing to do, to take such an iconic American product and put it in another country and run it from there. But I just think as well, people might be looking at the writing on the wall and they're like, I think I'm done.
We got a super chat here, but it's followed up by our dear channel member, Chris, here. Before I get to his super chat, he said that he recommended, and again, if you're a channel member, we're going to read your comments, all right? We're going to give you a shout out. That's one of the perks here. So again, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that join button. Highly recommend people watch MJF on Chris Van Vliet. We know this man, Rico, very well. He actually talked about how they made him say he wanted to be an opera singer and a wrestler. Well, Chris, of course, MJF would say that, because he doesn't want you all to believe that he was, when he was a little boy, that he enjoyed singing at such a high pitch. I'm telling you right now, he's saying that to try and cover his tracks. Chris, don't believe him. Again, anybody who can sing like that at his age, he was doing that full time. All right, but I will bring Chris's comment up on the screen right now because he did give us a super chat. Rico, any memories of working on Good Girls Don't Peter Brady, a.k.a. Chris Knight? I'm going to watch this tonight on Tubi. Rico, what the heck is this?
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, my God.
Well, it looks like we're all watching that tonight. Excellent. Right.
That's when, after Gladiators and after I did work with 10 different children's charities, I got an agent, and they started putting me, I started auditioning for movie parts. Now, Good Girls Don't. Oh, my God. You're right. I'll tell you. There was a scene where I had, fight him because I was a bad guy in this movie. And he got scared of me due to my size, thought I was really going to clock him. Now, I knew nothing about wrestling then, but I know about sparring. And I told him, let's go through it and I'll show you. But after I showed him what I could do and stuff, he went with it. That was my basic first co-starring role in a movie.
That's awesome.
But not one of my proudest moments, but
but it's
I did it.
Hey, it's out there. That's awesome.
Martin was in a movie too as well. I was, of course. I don't want to spend time talking about it, but Martin was in The Transporter. So yeah.
Well, which one?
Which one? All three of them.
You were in all three?
Yeah.
I love those movies.
There you go. So,
I love Statham. I love Jason Statham. I love him.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at him. So.
Well, right there. Always. And then when I was real young, when I was in military school, I got cast as an extra in Damien Omen 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Which was kind of creepy, right, Rico? You're saying.
A lot of things happened there, but that's the actual military school I went to. Was called Northwestern Military Naval Academy. It's not there now. Development took it over. But they filmed that movie with us at our academy. We were marching and stuff like that. And Damien, Jonathan Scott Taylor, who was from England, we got kind of hit it off. And the director would put me in certain spots. And then Jonathan, who's the star of the show, basically, with William Holden and Lee Grant, Robert Foxworth, Lance Hendrickson was in it.
Oh, yeah.
I
met Lance. Interesting guy.
Yes, he is. So the director would put me in one spot, and then Jonathan would come over and goes, "Come with me." I go, "Oh, you're going to get me kicked off this film." He goes, come here. And he'd always put me next to him,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
And we hit it off real good, and did a lot of scenes, and a lot of freaky stuff happened in that movie. I won't go into it now, but don't mess with the devil. I'll tell you, you even give him any ignition or any kind of praise or anything, he's going to strike. And he did a couple times on that movie. One of the directors a director or producer had a heart attack and died.
Speaking of Rich, Rico, you and I are going to shoot a members only section video just about your experiences on that movie and some of the creepiness that took place. So if you want to watch that, you've got to join and become a channel member for just $4.99 a month. We're only going to have it in the members section, so make sure you tune in for that. Also, members, this week, Martin and I did an unbelievable episode on Ava Johnson, the Tooth Fairy's daughter, because Martin got a chance to work with her in NXT, and we just completely cut loose. We're talking about her exit from WWE and the lies that were told about why she left. But anyway, it's all there in the members section only videos. But yeah.
Oh, can I take a time out a sec?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to my beloved cousin, and right now she's in Vancouver, but she's going to Alberta, Judy.
Okay.
My cousin. And for all you naysayers out there in Canada that said Judy's lying, she's not. She is my cousin.
There you go.
Love you, Judy. Mwah.
Shout out to Judy. We should also shout out to my other tag team partner up in Canada, the Bodacious Suave, Matthew Jacobs. Matthew, if you're watching this, I love you, man. Matthew will be back with us. He's still recuperating from the effects of chemo after doing his chemo, but yeah, he's going to be right back here with us in the coming weeks. So look out for that one. Yeah.
Like I said before, the nice side of me comes from my mother, who was Vancouver, BC. The business side of me comes from my father, who was Sicilian. And that's the part that takes care of business.
There you go. We do take care of business. Tell you who's not taking care of business right now. That is WWE. Of course, they're in the headlines, it seems, every single day because WrestleMania tickets are still available. Over 6,000 tickets are still available. They have not been able to sell out.
What is that? April? End of March?
Yeah. Mid-April. They will be.
Mid-April. They'd have been sold out on my years when I was there. Sold out by now. Yeah, and people, there'll be scalpers. Scalpers. I bet you there's no scalpers at this one. And it's going to be in Vegas again.
Yeah.
2 WrestleManias in Vegas? Unheard of.
The only time they did it before, and the only reason they got away with it is because they had the star power to do so, was WrestleMania 4 and 5 at Trump Plaza. All right? But then again, back then they had the Macho Man, Hogan, Warrior, Rude, $1 Million Man. So they were able to do that, not to mention the fact that actually someone who just gave us that number right now, tickets are about $50,000 for front row tickets, Rico. $50,000.
Okay, there's revenue and there's people in the seats. Okay, you can say, "Oh, WrestleMania was a success. We made over this amount of money." How many people were actually in the audience? That's what counts. And like we said before, how many people carry signs now to events? You don't see any signs.
Yeah.
You know, there's nobody cheering for one person. Go ahead.
I'm going to bring up Red Fox, obviously my co-star over on the Ultimate Truth podcast. He's also a channel member. They're on sale, and Uncle Paul said they will not lower prices. They are not going to lower these prices. Also, I see a lot of people in the stream. If you have not hit that subscribe button, I suggest you do it right now, right here. Become a member of the Masters of Wrestling, of our family here. Also, if you've got a question, load up your super chats. That's what they're there for. If you want to ask Rico a question, you want to ask Martin a question, you want to ask me a question, you want to contribute to the conversation, you want your voices to be heard, then use the super chat and get involved in the conversation. That's why we're here, ladies and gentlemen.
And hit the hype button, that new button. Yeah. I like that hype button.
Yeah. Hit that hype button.
Yeah, as a stylist would hit it, pinky up, smash it.
That's it. Pinky up, smash it. Yeah, exactly. So yes, do so. But yeah, this is very bad for WWE, gentlemen. I mean, this could go down in history as the first WrestleMania, never really truly to sell out at this point.
Yeah.
Well, this is my thought on it, and you two, freedom to criticize me on it, but. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay, that's one. Now, what the ruthless aggression era had worked. Okay, house shows made people watch weekly shows. The weekly shows led to a pay-per-view each month. Each pay-per-view led to WrestleMania. And then after WrestleMania, all the storylines changed. People started feuding with different people, but it told the whole story throughout the whole year. But you need the house shows to get the television audience. And above that, it polishes the talent. It polishes them because they know what to do and what not to do when the reactions in the house are not what they planned it to be, so they can add, subtract, modify, and do all that. So by the time they get to TV, they already know what's going on.
Yeah.
And the TV's supposed to tell, like I said, tell the story for the pay-per-view. Why do you need to tune into a pay-per-view? Because every week we say this. And it gets ingrained and gets people interested. Well, I don't care about that match, but I care about this one.
Yeah.
And then you get an array of audience. But you eliminating the house shows was the dumbest move you could have done. And you don't have to sell the house show tickets for a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's easier on the talent. The talent gets relaxed when they go out there and work, and they do call it in the ring and change it and stuff like that. But when you're on TV and you got time limits, especially in a live event, you're scared about making the time. You're nervous already there. House shows, you're not so nervous. And so, if you mess a move up, nobody's going to know you messed up unless you react to the mess up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 100%.
So you're polishing yourself for TV.
So let's go back to this $50,000 price ticket. Cheapest seats, $1,000, Rico. So again, you got a family of 4. That's $4,000 just for your tickets. That's not even your hotel.
That's $20,000 for front row.
No, for front row it'd be $200,000. No, $200,000.
$200,000.
$200,000.
$50,000. Yeah.
Price
Who's
of
going to
the house
spend that?
in some parts in the country.
No, that is prices of some of the house. Yeah. That's a car. That's a Ferrari.
Multiple cars. Yeah. Right. So at the end of the day, what do you think, Martin? I want to bring you in on this.
Yeah.
What do you think the reason for this is? I mean, obviously, if they're not selling out the arenas, but they're selling these tickets at high prices, why are they trying to beef up these sales? What could that possibly be? Why do they?
Because they got to pay contracts.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Martin.
The only thing, so obviously TKO, because it used to. I mean, obviously, UFC was probably one of the last things that had pay-per-views, right? So I'm guessing they're still thinking, well, we don't have that anymore. These guys aren't on pay-per-view. The shows were on Netflix, and now all we have are streaming. All we have now is streaming sites.
Okay, all right, buddy. I'm here.
So my guess is because now they've gone for the shows being on ESPN, and it's only $40 a month.
Man, he's heavy.
Now they're trying to think, well, okay, we haven't got we haven't got the buy rates from pay-per-views, so we're going to have to charge our seats and tickets accordingly. I cannot fathom any of the old guard, Hunter, Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard, Taker. I cannot fathom any of the old guard that are in that company that think it's a good idea to be charging what they're charging.
Well, because they don't have a choice.
I would hope they're not like, it's okay. So I still think this is very much. It's probably been brought up. Hey, you can't charge that. Yes, we can. We can charge what we want. You hush.
Well, as I was just reminded by a viewer here in the comments here, I forgot about this little anecdote as well, this little tidbit of information. So, Rico, you know what they've done in the city of Las Vegas during this week now? They have issued a blackout, meaning no sports bars or anywhere can show WrestleMania while it's happening on a TV out in public. So, basically, the only way you're going to watch that in Vegas is if you're paying top dollar. So that, to me, what is that? That is desperation right there. Yep. That's and like
so even if you try to buy it on
hold on, Rico. Martin, what did you say?
Yeah.
Something like that cannot be a wrestler's call. There is no way as Hunter gone, yeah, that's a really good idea. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So WrestleMania is not going to be pay-per-view?
It is pay-per-view, but the bars and the places in LA Las Vegas cannot air it to the public. So if you think you're going up there to have a good time at a sports bar, drink and eat or whatever, and you're going to watch WrestleMania on the big screen, you may as well turn around and leave Las Vegas right now because and you're not Nicolas Cage, but you're leaving Las Vegas. That's it.
Leaving Las Vegas.
You're out of here, man.
I did the same.
Yeah.
I did the same. Look what I'm in now.
I know. Beautiful idea. Yeah, no, it's, and you're right. Yeah, they probably stole the idea from us. I'm always feeding ideas to Uncle Paul there. A little bit of a wisecracker in our comments right there. You see him right there, Martin? A little bit of a sarcastic individual right there. Yeah, they did. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's a business, as we know. It's business, my man. But yeah, again, but our dear buddy Maven said this, which I find it very, very crucial here. If you beef up your portfolio with ticket sale prices, so say you sell the front row and you've already made over $1 million right there. Second row, you made it. Then when you sell it to the Saudis, because we know that sale is inevitable, they've opened up offices over there now. Uncle Paul was out parading the photographs last week. So when you sell it, the company looks like it's worth what? More money, because it made more money.
This is one thing. It has. This is just everyone else above anyone that's in the trenches just going, we're going to charge this, we're going to charge this, we're going to charge this. Yeah, but we're trying to get fans and families. Shush, we're making it's the only thing it can be.
You know what? The Saudis are not stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to check the books. They're going to check attendance. I mean, Saudi people are not stupid. Businessmen are not stupid. They didn't get where they were at by being stupid or naive. You know, I think this is a desperation move on WWE, real desperation.
Yeah.
And that's shameful. It's shameful to who? Us. It's shameful to all the loyal WWF, WWE fans.
Yeah.
Shameful.
Yeah.
Just unspeakable. And I'm being censored. I'm censoring myself.
Yeah.
I'm biting my tongue in between my sentences because I want to go off. Because, you know, the fans are so important. You know, when I used to go out afterwards, you know, leave and sign autographs and take pictures, I took suggestions from the fans. I had a little notebook, little flip notebook, because they'd always come up. You know what would be funny? Hold on. What? What would be funny?
Yeah.
And they would tell me.
The thing is with these people, though, Rico, you and I know who we're dealing with here. This is Hollywood. So once Hollywood swoops in, these people are so disconnected from real life. They're gone. Like, you can't even bring them back down to real life. So
it's all about this.
Yeah, it's all about that money, that dollar there. And like I said, they sell their own mother down the river if it would buy them a Snickers bar. That's the type of people we're dealing with here. And they have got their claws in WWE, and they're not going to let go until they sell it to the highest bidder, which is Saudi Arabia. The fans are
the lifeblood of what we as performers do. And to sit there and say, hey, you know, if you've got a spare $250,000, you can come over it. Like, that's bananas.
Well, I tell you what though, there is hope. We don't want to leave all our students here without any hope. We're not going to leave you yet. We still got a ways to go. But if you want hope, if you want to see sports entertainment, you can
I know where you're going to go. I know where you're going.
You can check out our dear buddy Vince Russo and the crew over at JCW. This is wrestling the way you remember it right now. Obviously, spliced up a little bit for the year 2026. But nonetheless, if you want to see action that keeps moving, a storyline where the story and the characters are the key, right? It's a TV show after all, and that's what made your generation, Rico, fantastic. Martin, you were on the tail end of it, my friend, just as it was waning out. But nonetheless, you two were involved in it at that time. But if you want to see it now, JCW is the place to be. So we will encourage you to go over and check that out. I think they're on tonight at 5 o'clock when we end.
Well, I tell you what, there's, besides Jim Cornette, No Better Mind, I count them as equals. Vince Russo, Jim Cornette, the same loyalty to the old school fans, old school wrestling. They they're loyal and they know how to produce a product that people can get interested in.
Yeah, yeah.
So unfortunately, like I said, I love AVW. I love the guys there, but I don't think they're getting the right management and pushed in the right direction right now.
Yeah.
That's why they're not going to be a contender. With Vince sinking or contributing to his organization, I think that's going to skyrocket. All of a sudden, it's going to take off like the Apollo rocket. Once he gets his ducks in a row and everything, bam.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's already materializing before our eyes. It's becoming must-see TV. I know a lot of our fans right here, a lot of our masters of wrestling. There's a reason that you're a fan of the Masters of Wrestling, because you understand mastery in professional wrestling. And they go over and they watch JCW. I see them over there. They're talking in the chats over there. They talk about it here. They're going to go and watch JCW after we're the pre-show to JCW here on a Thursday afternoon. After they're done here, they hop on over and watch JCW at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, yeah, great things, because, again, Vince Russo and his team understand that it is a TV product. It is not an Olympic sport. It is not a sport. It is a TV show with entertaining characters and storylines weaved throughout that keep you coming back week in, week out. And that's what he understands. I mean, again, the viewership has increased, and that's what I say. I mean, I think he's capturing that lapsed audience that vanished after wrestling changed, when it went down. Now, when it did go down, we're going to bring up a topic, because now Martin obviously reacted to what you said about Johnny Ace the other day on the live stream, right? And Martin and I talked about it. In fact, viewers, Rico and I shot an in-depth episode for Styling all about Johnny Ace. It's going to be coming out in the next few days on the channel. So, again, make sure you subscribe if you have not already. I don't want to have to keep asking you. Hit that subscribe button right now. It's free to do so. We want you as part of the family here on the Masters of Wrestling. But Johnny Ace, just like that, hit that button, hit that join button, become a member, and also, just keep tuning in. But, Martin, you've got a little bit of a story about Johnny Ace you wanted to share, too, just about some of the way this man operated around you during your NXT time. So go ahead. The floor is yours, my man.
So when I first got signed to FCW, which was obviously the predecessor to NXT, that was 2012. I think it was a few days before I officially started, but obviously at that point in time, Johnny Ace was the head of talent relations. So the developmental was his control. It was his vision. It was his, it was athletes, second generation guys. Again, no one under 6 foot, no one older than 25. The whole thing is what it was with Eureka.
That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar to me, Martin.
Okay, now this is part of the reason why I can't stand that piece of. I feel very much the same as Eureka. So literally, as the transition happened between FCW and NXT, Hunter came in with his new entourage and basically fired Johnny Ace on the spot. And
that was one good thing my Uncle Paul did, Rico.
And that was
right.
Again, it was basically fired him on the spot, and then Johnny Ace became a producer. I'm sure.
How do you fire somebody and then make them a producer?
Well,
he downgraded him.
You got to remember, this is Johnny Ace was Vince's right-hand man. So chances are Hunter probably didn't want him, but couldn't get rid of him officially. But what he did was he took him out of development.
Right.
So, and then Hunter took over. Now.
Okay, now I can still hear you. Keep going. The weather now is getting chilly.
Hold on
I'll be right back.
1 second, Martin. Keep that, because it looks like we got somebody in the chat here who is saying they were in WWE. Do you see that right there? Because they're saying they were released in 2009. If you know who I'm talking about in the chat right now, Charles, I want you to get in contact with us. We want to talk to you. Who are you? because he's saying they was released. We got somebody in the chat right now, Rico, that's saying they were released from WWE in 2009. So I want to know. I tell you what, Mr. at Charles, you know the rest. I'm not going to put it out here. Get in contact with us. Send us an email. It's the Masters of Wrestling Podcast, one word, the Masters of Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com. I want to figure out who this man is, and I want to chat with you. We may want to bring you on the show.
Before my time, yeah. So I don't, yeah. Before my time.
Interesting.
I'll be right back. Martin, take over. Tell me. I can still hear.
Go ahead, Martin.
Yeah. So then, obviously, fast forward to when Hunter unfortunately had his heart attack.
Yeah.
And he was obviously pulled away from, that was when Sean completely took over the reins. And at that point, this was when NXT moved from Wednesdays to Tuesdays, because as much as they said we went live, because it was a great chance for this was a chance for developmental to become the third brand. We basically failed miserably trying to defeat AEW each week. Again, we used to get told, "Oh, well, you're up against guys that we didn't want to hire," and obviously Sean was talking about independent guys. But at the end of the day, we were trying to compete with the likes of Jericho, guys that had been on TV at its peak for years. So there's no way were we going to be able to compete with it. So we moved to Tuesday nights. Hunter unfortunately has his heart attack. Johnny Ace comes back in and takes back over.
Oh.
Right? And then guess what happened? Within a week of him taking over, this is how petty this man really is. I guess he kept a grudge for the 12 years. Any guy that was left in NXT that was signed by Hunter got fired.
For no reason, just gone.
Me? Here's the biggest shocker out of all of them. I got let go. William Regal, Mr. Regal got let go. Samoa Joe, a ton of people in Stamford got, anyone that was left that Hunter hired.
Yeah.
They were gone.
That's crazy, man.
That's an evil man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he got his comeuppance, because obviously then maybe 6-7 months later, that was when the big scandal came out. Johnny disappeared, and then obviously Hunter regained his health, and then we know what happened from there. But it's
well, Johnny Ace is a rat.
Yeah,
he's trying to protect his own butt.
Yeah.
That's it. But as I said before, and you'll hear, he can't hide forever. He's made these accusations or deals with the prosecutor. He's going to have to get up on the stand and testify to what he gave the prosecutor. He's got to be there in person. Yep. And I said this before, to you, the minute he puts that right hand on the Bible, he's going to burn up.
He will. He'll just incinerate in flames. Yeah. But tell you what, Red Fox what are you talking about here? He says here, look at this. I'm going to bring this on the screen here. I am ashamed right now, Red Fox, that you would even put this.
I'm sure this is tongue in cheek.
Shawn Michaels, Michelle McCool, and Johnny Ace are on my Mount Rushmore. You know what, Red Fox? I'm sure he's just being
funny
sarcastic here. He's being funny here. But speaking of Michelle McCool, a.k.a. Mrs. Undertaker, recently I heard that so Rico, do you know the story about how The Undertaker had a podcast with a guy, and they were very successful, almost 1 million subscribers, making money. All of a sudden, The Undertaker kicks him to the curb, goes running back to WWE. Then he's gone, and his wife is his new co-star. So more recently, they've deleted the entire old channel. It's gone. Poof.
The library, everything gone.
The library's gone, which means he can no longer make any money on it. Because remember, what are we laughing at, Mario? What's going on here?
This comment, I'm sorry, I don't like to highlight comments, but this comment's from James Weston, 2018. No, not Mrs. Undertaker. He's Mr. McCool now.
Good one. Touche, James. Fantastic comment. Mr.
Sorry,
McCool.
That popped me, yeah.
He's another
James, well done.
There's another Mr. Becky Lynch right there. So, but yeah, so now it's like it's like adding insult to injury, Rico. This man went out, got the Undertaker, pulled him out of obscurity at that time, gave him a platform where they were making thousands of dollars on a monthly basis, right? With those
making so much money because that hit massive numbers within a week of it being up, like just woof. Big
numbers, probably like 1 million plus views every month with sponsorships. Okay. So now Undertaker ditched him to the curb. Now to add insult to injury, he can't now because he could have still been making money on that podcast because it still goes on. If people still click on videos from the past, he's still making money. So now they've taken that from him too. I think this is abysmal, guys. I think this is utterly. First of all, I don't know. I know he came out in interviews and he said that he was okay with it. I would not be. This guy, I don't know how, Rico, he helped build the Undertaker's empire again in the podcast realm. And for Taker to just leave him. Now, I know we got a lot of respect for what he did in the business. I do. I think he was one of the greatest characters of all time. But personally now, hearing this, it's very disheartening. Never meet your heroes. I understand why, because, gosh. But
well, you met me, didn't you?
Yeah, but you did not disappoint. You did not disappoint.
One of the very few that doesn't disappoint. Yeah.
Well, you don't disappoint. There's a reason why we're all in the circle we're in, and you guys don't disappoint. But some of these guys, it's a disappointing state of affairs. Why rob a man of what he could help change his family's life? He robbed him of that. Martin,
I can only hope Taker paid him a very nice large sum. I can only hope that I don't know if that's a thing that came out or anything, but I'd like to hope Taker is decent enough to be like, hey, you know what? Here you go.
There's another comment here. This guy is fantastic. Come on, hit a super chat. Join in the conversation. I want to bring you up on the screen. Becky Lynch is so angry because Seth Rollins wears her blouses to the ring. That's the type of humor we want here, right?
James, come on. Be a subscriber. Come on.
Make sure you subscribe. Come on, become a channel member, James. Come on, just do it. Hit that join button. We want you to ask questions here. We want to bring you up on the screen, man. That's friggin' fantastic right there. There's no snow here. We won't be melting here. There's no snow here, if you know what I mean.
Well, knowing the Undertaker for as many years as I did, something had to wrench him. Somebody put him in a position to do that. I mean, Undertaker was the courtroom judge for the backstage. He was the court guy. He made the final decisions when the boys messed up and had to pay a penance. He was the man. He controlled the locker room. We can't tell the full story. We can just say what's coming out. But, I've got to defend the Undertaker that he was put in a position where he had to do what he had to do. And I hope Martin is right that he did give, in quote unquote, a severance pay to the gentleman that got him to where he was on the podcast. I hope he did, but we don't know. But I will stand that and take the position that Undertaker is an upstanding individual. What he says, he means, and when he means, he says. My only thing with I always tried to make him grin or laugh. That was it. That was my whole goal while I was there, to get him to crack a smile, get him to break character, and I did it a couple times. Also did it to the announcers, I think that's what I wanted to. I didn't want to pop the guys in the back. I wanted to pop the announcers. Yeah. If I could pop the announcers during my match, that means I did everything right, because they're savvy.
Yeah, I think the only issue people are having with the whole Michelle McCool Undertaker thing is just the fact that all of a sudden then she gets a Hall of Fame induction. Arguably there are other women that should have gotten in there way before her, right? Okay, she's not on that level to go into the Hall of Fame. She claims she changed.
What is the WWE Hall of Fame? You can't go to like the Football Hall of Fame. Yeah. There's actually a place, a Hall of Fame place where you can see the jersey, see the bust of whoever it was, see films of stuff like that. Yeah. What is the WWE Hall of Fame?
Rico,
it's a piece of paper.
Yeah, it's a piece of paper, but you can go and see it, right? Oh, it's a hop and a skop over to Saudi Arabia. It's right there. Their offices are right there. Their offices are right there now, my man.
I don't even think they keep track of the honorees or inducted members. It's just like wrestling. It's a show. Hall of Fame. It's a show. Yeah. I mean, come on. If you really want to put a Hall of Fame, you buy a building and you do like baseball, football, basketball. You'd have something to remember that person by and why they were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Undertaker's stuff, the urn, Paul Bearer, all these people. Yeah. Macho Man. You'd have an outfit saying Macho Man inducted or a bust of them.
Well, the other day, in fact, we received a letter from Uncle Paul that they're considering perhaps putting other people outside of pro wrestling, perhaps even in the podcast realm, into the Hall of Fame now. So again, there's other, again, we saw, what was it? Pete Rose went into the Hall of Fame. Yep. Other random characters such as him that went into the Hall of Fame that had no real major contributions to WWE other than a one-spot appearance. So, again, I guess it doesn't really mean much if you go into the WWE Hall of Fame. They already
doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, not that they're going to induct me, but if they did, I'd be like, induct me into where? Space?
Where? Yeah.
You're not inducting me.
I think Billy Gunn is in the Hall of Fame, right? Yeah, he was in with DX, right? Yeah. I was going to say, because, again, another great tag team should have been in there, Billy and Chuck. In fact, we were just talking about this morning over on Style and Rico. Billy and Chuck, what a great gimmick it was.
It had the characters, and we showed pictures of what we did, just a still photo, and then a still photo of what it is now.
Yeah.
But if you looked at the Billy, Chuck, and I in the ring, and Billy on one knee, it exudes character. I exude my character. Billy did his character. Chuck did his character. You didn't need words. You saw what was going on. And what do they say? A picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yep, that's it.
And it right there in a still shot. You can't do that today because they're moving around too fast. They're worried about moves.
Yep, exactly.
It's
the dumbest thing.
Less is more. Less is more. And the selling now is terrible. They don't sell anything.
No.
Somebody punches you in the face like that, bare knuckled, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna have a reaction.
Yeah.
Or somebody does, what I used to do, grab them by the head like this and then turn them over and slam them on my thigh.
Yep.
And they bounce back.
Yeah.
They sell that. There's no selling now. It's okay, let's just get on to the next move, which makes the move you did prior senseless.
Yep. The bottom line is this. I think, we talk so much, obviously, students, because there's so much in the news to discuss with AEW and WWE. People are making mistakes every day, it seems like, in this business. But the bottom line is, if you truly want to be entertained, if you truly want old school sports entertainment wrestling, you need to check out JCW. I'm not going to tell you to go and watch WWE or AEW or anyone else for that matter, because quite frankly, JCW, in terms of mainstream pro wrestling, that's where it's at right now. So again, if you want to be entertained, if you want us, that's when we talk positive here, when we're talking about what's going on there. Of course, Mr. Anderson, Ken Anderson is the JCW champion right now. Great champion to have. We got other guys over there who came back recently. Jean-Pierre Ouellet. Jean-Pierre Ouellet, right? Is that how you pronounce it, Martin? PCO.
Yes. Yeah, PCO.
Yeah. So
What was he? The Quebecers? Quebecers or?
Yes, he was in the Quebecers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got another super chat here from a man who just straightened out our traffic jam problem right here. The man himself, traffic jam. Emir, Martin, and Rico are the best.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much
Thank
for
you.
that. But, you know, ahead of us, of course, traffic jam is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and our Father in heaven. They are the best right there. We're just here servants doing our thing. But we want to thank you for that contribution, Traffic Jam. I've seen you over on the Café de René. Of course, I'll be over there tomorrow with Renee, reporting on all the latest happenings, and we got some doozies going on over there as well. So, again, viewers, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, I suggest you do it right now. If you want to be considered a master of professional wrestling, you've come to the right
spot. Like that. Just like that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, pinky up. My bad. Click.
Subscribe. Hype the video. It puts us in the algorithm. We appreciate that. Give it a like. It'll help the algorithm. Also, leave your comments. Once this video goes out, leave your comments. We want to hear from you as well. And, of course, if you want to see more of me as well, go over to the Café de René with Renee Dupree. I'm his co-star over there. So
Renee's a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah, so getting to chat with him on Tuesday. That's the first time I've met him, and yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I got to wrestle him a few times, and he's technical. I mean, he knows his wrestling. He knows psychology. He knows all of it. You know, and
what was he? All of it.
Was he 19?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
when he showed up,
and he's I believe I think I'm correct in saying his dad was a pro wrestler as well.
He's a second gen.
Yeah, so he grew up around it, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he learned a lot. He learned a lot. If he was allowed to let go, he could have gotten bigger. You know.
Speaking of second generation, gentlemen, I want to keep us flowing and along here. Braun Breaker, the nephew of Scott Steiner, the man who is the son of Rick Steiner. Of course, now Rico, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but yeah, he's in part of a faction in WWE. But more recently, he suffered an injury, which is going to put him out now for a while.
Oh boy.
They were pushing him, but I think that I sense some frustration in this young man. Martin, I don't know if you have, but when he cuts a promo, when he's doing stuff now, I'm seeing a little bit of his uncle in him there. Because, you know, Scott Steiner didn't hold back when he was pissed off. And you knew it, and he let it out. I think Braun Breaker's pissed off with the booking in WWE. I just do. They pushed him up against the corporate man. And again, anybody who ever has the unfortunate unpleasantry of attending a WWE event, I want you to write a sign saying CM Punk equals corporate man and hold it up. We want to see it on the camera, and I want you to send us a picture of you in the crowd with that sign up, please. Also, put a sign up saying Mr. Becky Lynch. I want to see these signs out there. We're feeding you information right here, students. But where was I going with this? What Scott Steiner?
Scott Steiner.
Okay, so let's just fantasy book for a minute here. Martin, do you think if Braun Breaker left the World Whining Entertainment Group right now and joined the likes of a JCW, I would have to say AEW because I'm forced to say it, but I hope to God he doesn't join that sham of a company. But if he joined JCW, do you think he would skyrocket to the top still? Do you reckon his stock would still keep rising, or do you think he has to stay in WWE right now?
Nope, he has to stay. And the reason I say that,
even go ahead, say that. I want to hear the reason.
Again, I was at the PC while he was there, and he was training and getting better and better and better. Really nice guy, super hard worker. I feel that they booked him in such a way that he's pigeonholed that he needs the machine behind him to now get over.
You mean they've made him dependent upon their drug?
Yeah. I feel that now this is why a lot of people, they're not getting over with the crowd because it's forced. This is who we're going to churn out. This is who you have to cheer for. This is who we're churning out. This is who you have to boo for. they're not letting the talent just find themselves, and it's unfortunate, and they've put him in that group, which is awesome, but he can talk, and obviously they're using Heyman as doing the majority of the mic work, which is completely fine because Heyman is amazing on the mic. But I just feel that they've kind of almost in a way tried to book him like Goldberg, but they've not booked him like Goldberg, and they've kind of just it's a weird thing that they've done with him. Like when he first, like Johnny Ace was so high on him, that's why literally the minute he came in, he was pushed to the moon.
Let me just address Matt right here. Matt, keep watching this space. That's all I'm going to say, Matt. Anyway, continue, Martin.
Hey, buddy.
He was like, as soon as Johnny Ace took over and it became NXT 2.0, he was pushed to the moon. Yeah. And like when he was on his rocket, he was really, really good. But then putting him in a group, I think personally they should have just let him go. And again, what's the worst that happens? You reel him back in. Rather than stifle someone and like, oh, well, we're waiting for you to break out. It's like, well, you can only break out so much. Let him go.
He has so much potential. The Steiner brothers, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Yeah. Rico has been completely engulfed by a giant wolf, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, this is my puppy.
That's a puppy, actually.
He's a puppy. He's a Great Dane. Rescued him. All three of my dogs have been rescues. And when I got him, he was 108 pounds, skinny, bones, mistreated. Now he's almost 140 pounds. And when he stands on my shoulders, he's taller than me. His name is Odin.
Odin.
Yeah. Oh. He's a giant, Odin. Man. He's a giant.
And then I have another Mastiff Great Dane, Hercules. And then I have an older Great Dane named Apollo.
See, Rico, I have a Hades. He is
a Hades, yeah.
Yeah, I have a Hades, so that's perfect.
Yeah, I brought him up. We've had him for about a year now, March a year, and he listens well. Trained him. He like I said, he misses daddy. So when I'm doing shows like this, he's got to make an appearance.
Mine's doing the exact same right now. I can hear him barking and running around in there. If this door's closed and he can hear me talking, he goes nuts.
I got a dog door. I can't close it, so he comes out when he wants. And he just does a run in.
We have to keep our dog, obviously he's got a huge runway out here on the grounds in the common area. I got one of those dire wolves myself. But anyway, that's for a different story,
We should do an episode on our dogs at some point.
Well, this is a wolf, Martin. It's not just a dog, it's a wolf. I like to do things, like to push the envelope. But nonetheless, as we're going on here, with Braun Breaker, it's interesting because I never even thought of the fact that he was there all those years, which again goes to show me you haven't done it right. Because look at the Steiner brothers' success, my man. The Steiner brothers came out, 1989 in WCW? 1990, I remember them coming up. By 93, they've already made it to the big time, which was the WWF. By 1998, he's Big Papa Pump. That's less than a decade. You've already accelerated in NWO status, world champion. So you're saying that if Braun Breaker was there when you were there, he's almost hitting a decade mark already, and he still has not identified himself as well as Scotty did.
Yeah, he got there. He was there just before COVID. So he was there.
He came in at a bad time.
7 years.
So I mean, he did, and again, he did come in at a bad time, and it sucked because all those guys came in and they had no live event experience.
Nope.
7 years, man. That's a long
and again,
time,
but to that point, I was just about to say, Amir, why were the Steiner brothers so successful? Because they came up in a time period where, as Rico said, you had TV. The house shows sold TV, sold the TV and the pay-per-views and the pay-per-views. So they had so much experience, and that's why guys now, like again in your time period, Rico, guys there were some guys on the mid card that had been working for like 15, 20 years.
Yep.
Guys that had so much experience, and there just isn't that now.
You know what, right here, our fan here said, I hope you're a channel member or subscriber. He said Odin is bigger than 90% of the AEW roster. I like this guy. I like that comment right there.
I like that guy.
You're absolutely right there. You're
Odin.
absolutely fantastically right there. That is brilliant right there.
See how
so
big he is?
Yeah, he's huge. Oh, lovely.
is man. One last thing I wanted to bring up, one topic here today, because I saw the Elimination Chamber, which I guess is, I thought it was No Way Out in February, but again, that just goes to show you the last time I actually really paid attention to WWE. But nonetheless, February, the month is here.
There's a pay-per-view in between Rumble and Mania, and wow, I didn't,
slipped my mind because they didn't even promote Rumble, and they're not promoting Mania.
Yeah.
So apparently, the one thing they have promoted, though, is what I heard. And again, anybody who's watching the comments here who has the displeasure of watching or knowing about WWE, just tell me if I'm wrong. But I heard that Finn Balor is going to be taking on the corporate man for the world title. Now, didn't Finn Balor just lose to the corporate man or somebody a few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, from what I remember?
I think I'm correct in saying that Finn worked Punk when they were in Ireland.
Okay, but I believe he lost.
Yeah, it was clean, yeah.
Okay, so Rico, tell me what's wrong with this picture. The corporate man, Philip, CM Punk formerly, he is the world champion. He defeats Finn Balor, this little man from Ireland, okay? He defeats him, loses in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
He loses in Ireland. You know what I want to say, but I may not say it. What the heck?
Yeah.
You know what happens at the end of the rainbow? Who chases the end of the rainbow?
Go ahead.
Who's little leprechauns, but nonetheless, okay. So Finn Balor, right? But he lost. So why now is he in a pay-per-view match with the corporate man after he just friggin' lost clean? It's not like he accidentally lost or anything. He lost clean. What kind of booking is that? I mean, you tell me. Did they eat too many Lucky Charms or something?
It's not, and that's the thing. Like, it's not a talent. You know what I mean? Like, Finn is literally, again, Finn is one of the best. Like, pound for pound, he's one of the best wrestlers they have in ring.
Well,
He's absolutely phenomenal. He was one of the. Again, he was the guy that literally broke the mold in Japan, and he was a junior heavyweight who was believable, and the crowd got behind him enough to be able to compete with the heavyweights.
Fair enough.
So he still is. He's so good. But when you book someone to lose clean, like not even he goes for his finish and slips and hurt his ankle, and there's a roll up off of it, and then you can go back to it. It doesn't even have to be, he's now, he's hurt his leg and he's got a leg submission. No, he goes for something, he lands awkwardly, small package, 1, 2, 3. The crowd are going to be like, oh, boo, what would have happened?
Revenge.
It's not a big thing. And all it's done is it's the exact same outcome as what you want, but you could have now gone back to it. And there's your promo set up. The only reason you beat me, Punk, was because I twisted my foot, I did whatever, my knee got banged up, whatever.
Not only that, Martin, not only that, Rico, how many years has Finn Balor now been in WWE? To my recollection, it's got to be at least 11 to 13 years now. Yeah. Okay.
I think 2015, 2016, I think he made his debut.
11 odd years. Now, Rico and Martin, in correlation, Hulk Hogan won the belt in 1984, right? In 1994, he was in WCW facing Ric Flair. He just returned. So look at that evolution of 10 years. But he was in a different company trying to reboot himself, right? Finn Balor has been in the same company for 11 years, okay? 11 years. That's like 1983 to 1994. Why? Oh, why is he still challenging for the world title. Number one, why? I want to know.
Has he ever won it?
Has he ever won it, Martin?
Yes. It really sucked for him because the night he won it, he also separated his shoulder as well. So he literally won the title.
Had to give it up.
Tore his shoulder and literally had to come out the next night and give it up. Yeah, it was.
Gave it up.
And I think,
well, that's a legitimate thing.
Yeah, it was just.
That's a legitimate thing, which should have happened, like you said, with the corporate man. Yeah. Something, an injury, fake injury, real injury, whatever.
Because of that, I think at that time period, I think that was when Vince kind of just said no and gave up.
And I just want to reiterate this because someone said PG Punk. The man is no longer called Punk. He's called Corporate Man. The letters CM in his name have always stood for Corporate Man. You can call him Corporate Man Phillip. I want you to make your signs, hold him up at a WWE event. He's saying here that the Corporate Man versus the overpushed Roman Reigns is the worst match for the heavyweight title at WrestleMania. That's what they're Rico. That's what they're building WrestleMania upon. The Corporate Man who's been around for 20 years, Roman Reigns, who has been around and tried to get over for 10 years. It took him 10 years to get over, a part-timer who goes off to Hollywood and comes back.
And then he had to bring in the bloodline to help.
Now, that was a good idea. That was a good gimmick. Yes, but that helped him get over. Now he's back to being him same old stale self. He just has teeth that are too big, too many big veneers because he can't talk properly anymore. And I'm not making fun here. I'm telling you, Martin, if you look at his promos now, just like Ava, he can't speak through his teeth because they're too big, those veneers. But anyway, you'd think with more money he'd do a better job. Same.
Okay, let's go back a second to the Finn Balor thing.
Yeah.
Okay, if Corporate Man beat him clean, why are you going to have a rematch? Now, I already know the outcome. Finn Balor's going to win.
Do you really think so? He's been around for 11 years. Corporate Man's got his hands in the WWE. He's way at the top now because we heard that Corporate Man, in fact, Martin and I did a members-only section video where we reveal a lot about the Corporate Man, Phillip. He's not so straight-edged after all, is he, Martin Stone? No, he's not so straight-edged after all.
From stuff I've heard,
So that being said, you know he's in with the mucky mucks. There's no way Finn Balor is doing, he hasn't got his fingers in the TKO pie. I'm telling you, the Corporate Man does. Remember, he was in UFC too, the Corporate Man.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, but that's funny. Why are they calling him the Corporate Man? They're copying. They're copying Rock. He was the Corporate Rock.
Yes, but I'm calling him the Corporate Man. I dubbed him the Corporate Man. I'm the one who said that his CM letters stand for Corporate Man because he's corporately kissing everybody's ass. That's what it is.
Must have a lot of Vaseline.
He does have a lot of Vaseline. Yes, he does. Yes.
But to your point, Rico, that actually brings up a good point. Maybe Finn does win so that they can, for whatever reason, protect Punk so that Roman can just steamroll Finn. But I don't, Well, like I said, you remember the WCW Wars before the show? Yeah. All the wrestlers would get in the room. I'm not losing to him unless somebody interferes or somebody throws a chair shot or this person, and then I'll get the defeat. It was back and forth with WCW.
Hey, we got a ding moment because we've set somebody who stepped out of the shadows and into the spotlight. Main Event Shotgun, I like that name, has become a channel member. Welcome.
Way to go. Just like that. Just like that.
Hit that join button, become a channel member. Boom. Thank you very much. Welcome to our family. Now you get to ask us a free question every live stream. We'll give you a shout out right here. And of course, make sure you go over and check out our members only videos. We got some new ones coming up this week, so you will not be disappointed. Let me remove these from the screen. I'm having some technical difficulties here. Bear with me 1 second, guys. In fact, somebody did tell us here that the main event last year at WrestleMania was, in fact, a triple threat between the Corporate Man, Roman Reigns, and I believe, Mr. Becky Lynch. So this has already been done last year, Rico. Already been done.
There's no creative. There's no Nobody's got the wrestling psychology no more. Nobody.
Yeah.
I think after I left and it's his transition, the Cornettes, the Russos, the Finleys, the Malenkos, Hayes, I think they're stifling them or just got rid of them. There's no more psychology.
Chris, our dear channel member, he's saying here he hopes we see Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight for the title, other than Orton, who looks better than those two guys. Chris, you are absolutely correct. The issue we're having with LA Knight is LA Knight have been on a disparaging spree with LA Knight ever since he came to WWE. He was good in NXT. They gave him the $1 million belt with the $1 million man. They brought him into WWE as Max Dupree, the advisor to people. Why?
Johnny Ace said he was too old.
There you go. He decided he was too old.
That's why he was a manager.
And he became a manager. And he managed, Rico, 2 fake runway models that you and I know very well.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah, I checked my background. LA Knight was MXM's manager.
He was deemed too old.
Too old. Yeah, you're judging a book by its cover. Stop it.
Yeah.
You judged me by my cover, and look what I did. Look what Boogeyman did. You're judging him by the cover. Boogeyman.
Look at
me.
Look at what Hulk Hogan did back when he was in the NWO. He was almost 50. Okay? This is what people are not understanding. Diamond Dallas Page, someone put in here.
He debuted at 36. So I got him beat by 4 years.
No, he started training when he was almost 36, DDP. But then that was different. Back then, that was like 45, because that was way back in like 90. That was a different era. It was a different time. PCO, still rocking in his JCW era right here. The best, and I've said it before, and I will say it again, students. The younger they are, the more mistakes they end up making, the less life experience they have, the less believable they are. Period. That's the bottom line. You cannot build a company on youth. You have to have them sprinkled in there, but you cannot build on them. They have to be there, and they have to wait their turn 5 years, 10 years around the other guys. Then they get their moment. That's it.
And the problem with younger people, especially now, is this. Camera phones, camera videos, Instagram reels. People are if they're out doing something stupid, that's going to get filmed. We've all made mistakes when we're younger. Like when I was 21, 22, if there was camera phones out there, it'd be a nightmare.
Yep.
Because we weren't mature enough. But now it's like that's going to be it's right there to see it straight.
The world has gotten very small because of the internet and all these platforms.
And that's why, one of our viewers here, again, Magic Crazy, I hope you become a channel member. I hope you hit that join button, man, because I want to bring some of your stuff up on the screen here. But I will say here, he said I was right when I was talking about Tony Khan a few weeks ago. Tony Khan came out and said proudly, I like to hire younger talent. One of the dumbest moves you could possibly make, because you're hiring guys, like I said, Rico, Martin. These are not young guys like you when you and I were slightly younger, because we're still in our peak and our prime here. But when we were slightly younger, we did not act like these idiots. All right, there's no way that I would have been 5 years ago filming stupidity like I see at some of these pop-up wrestling schools, and they love to parade out there these stupid asinine bullshit they do in between their training sessions, and they think it's funny. What I see is a bunch of immature grown-ups who are acting like teenagers who I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole if I was hiring in a company, because they're not the type. They're not professionals. I don't want them working for me because they're just friggin' ass wipes, just complete and utter, just
what it needs to go back to. Okay, and I'm not even to say wrestling. In a karate dojo, whatever style you want, you start off at the bottom.
Yep.
And you listen to the sensei, who is the master or the sensei, and they teach you. And you go up in stages, but they teach you.
Yep.
Okay, that's why you need the veterans in there to sprinkle their knowledge on the rising superstars. You got to have somebody to pass the torch to. They're not doing. They haven't done it in years. There's nobody to pass the torch to.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sheik passed it to Hulk. Andre passed it to Hulk. Hulk passed it to Warrior, and so on. You see what I'm talking about? Because Warrior couldn't wrestle a lick when he first started. I mean, you only saw him for a minute on TV and those squash matches. The next year, you saw him 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then shortly, then you saw him 3 minutes. Then you saw him in the match.
Yeah.
And then Hogan must have worked with them. And then he became IC champ in 30 seconds when he beat the Honky Tonk Man. And
reaction, though.
That's because Honky Tonk, I'll take on anybody back there. Anybody. Dun. People, they elevated from their seats.
Yeah.
And here comes the Warrior with all that energy. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
And then Jimmy Hart scampers. Honky Tonk's not even out of his suit yet. And boom, boom, bang, smash, splash, 1, 2, 3. You know? And then he reigned. And the older guys taught him how to be champion. And then it got to Hogan versus Warrior.
Yeah.
For the heavyweight title.
The difference is this, though, and again, I used this back when I was developing a TV show for a British production company. They told us, if you're trying to aim at, this was like a tween show, right? So if you're looking to aim at tweeners, like 11 to 13-year-olds or whatever it was, your characters needs to be 16. You need to look up. So the difference is back then, guys like Warrior, when they came into the business, they wanted to become a grown-up. They wanted to become mature. They looked to the guys like Sean Connery in James Bond. I want to grow up to be like that, a man. Mm-hmm. Problem with a lot of these young wrestlers here is instead of wanting to grow up and get mature, they're afraid of getting older, and so they have Peter Pan syndrome, and they say stuck in the past. So when you walk backstage in a locker room now, instead of seeing, not everywhere, of course, I want to make that disclaimer, I don't want to melt any snow out there, but when you work into some of these places, right, instead of seeing the guys, doing pumps, talking about, their life, maybe I'm doing this with my wife or something like that. No, they're talking about what video game they just bought. This is the problem right there. So how on earth can I have a guy? I'm not against video games, everybody. I still own a little one of these Super Nintendo things, like one of these mini things, but I barely play. I may dust it off one time a year, right? Just for the heck of it. But that's about it. But at the end, what's so funny, Bart? What
even a PlayStation? Come on. Nintendo?
A Super Nintendo, because I know that was the only time when it had any class. But anyway, that's besides the point. So the point of the matter is we got another super chat.
And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that super chat, Archie Lee. You know what he says right here, Rico? Gentlemen, for the Red Crown. Well, Rico, you don't know what the Red Crown is yet, do you? Well, you're looking at it at the top of your screen right now. 2 English gentlemen right here.
Oh.
In the old country. Myself and the Fixer, the Master and the Fixer, we are the Red Crown. You're going to be hearing a lot more about the Red Crown out there in the professional wrestling world, Archie Lee. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on my social media, and here we'll report to you what's going on. Red Fox, what are you saying here?
Sorry, Red Fox's comment's amazing.
It's not anti-video game. He is still playing Pong on his... You know what, Red Fox? This guy. I tell you, man. Yeah, you know what, Red Fox. But yeah, you're right. Mario Kart is still good. Thank you, Matt Bannister.
Yeah, I love Mario Kart.
But hey, let's stop with the video games. This is the problem with these. Like I said, this is the problem with these guys backstage, Rico. If I come backstage and I see you, a legend, And I say, hey, Rico, how you doing, man? And you say, yeah, I'm good, young man. How are you? Like, well, good. I was thinking of this move I saw in this video game the other day. What would you think of that, imbecile, Rico?
I'd say, nice talking to you.
Yeah, see ya. That's it.
I'll see you in catering later.
I'll see you in catering later. Yeah, little dweeb. Anyway.
No, you're not on that. You're not on the professional level. You want to talk? I mean, come on. I mean, the only video games I played Pong when I was little and Pac-Man, you know, but those are, you put the quarter in. I didn't have it on my TV.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't play video games now, and I don't ever want to, because I told you the story. I saw a kid playing me on a video game, and he was better with his thumbs than I was in real life.
You know why? Yeah. You know why, gentlemen? Martin, you know why, Rico, we don't need to play video games? You know why we don't need to be associated with that group? I'll tell you why. Because they're conquering in the make-believe world. We'll conquer in the real world. I rest my case.
Well said.
Done.
But to that point, just going back to the topic of that, I think the difference now, and then obviously between, especially Rico's time period, everyone treated it as a profession.
Yeah.
Which is why everybody was so much more mature.
Got another run in.
It was a profession.
Another run in.
Profession, Martin.
It was a profession.
It was a profession. So,
and we were professionals.
Bills via wrestling, and now it's unfortunately the industry leader has made it so accessible to anybody being able to get in and do this. That's why you have the types of people that are just coming into wrestling now. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that wrestling's not for everybody.
Martin.
Sometimes it's not.
Martin.
Sometimes, you can be in the wrestling business, but sometimes you're not supposed to be in the ring. It's
Martin.
Okay.
Martin. It's not for everybody, my pal. It's not for everybody. You know what, Martin? Because we got enough people that we need to fix.
As I said to you, the wrestling business is for everybody, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're in ring. It doesn't necessarily mean you're behind the scenes.
Right.
You can still be involved in the wrestling business, but it just means you might be one of the fans.
Yeah.
Right.
You might be a ring announcer. You might be a backstage interviewer. But the industry leader is, hey, you're great on TikTok. You're great on IG. You're great on whatever. Hey, you can do this. That's the issue.
No, they don't understand that it is difficult to become a pro wrestler. Pro wrestling was more difficult, believe it or not, than American Gladiators.
Yep.
All I had to do with Gladiators is be me, be who I was.
Yeah.
And there you go, champion. But in the wrestling profession, you got to be somebody else.
Yeah.
And I've said it. I'm blue in the face because it's cold out here. No, I'm blue in the face because I said this, is that they don't take it 100%. They're not committed 100%, because if you believe it and exuberate that, they will believe it. If you really believe in who or what you're portraying, that they will attach to it. They will, whether you're a heel or a face. It's just like movie acting. Yeah. I mean, Bruce Willis, famous actor, he could be a good guy, like in Die Hard, or he could be the bad guy. He plays them both.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that's who Bruce Willis is. He's probably a totally separate guy. But when he takes on a role, he takes on the role. Yeah. And in Hollywood, they call those method actors.
That's right.
They actually assume their role.
Yeah.
And they become that for a certain time. So when it's time to film and you got the go-ahead, they're already that character. They've been living it. And they've read the script and they know what, they've figured it out. They've talked to their agent. They've talked to the writers, producers, and stuff like that, and got input. And then they go out and do it. That's why they're successful actors. Wrestlers don't do that anymore.
Oh no. Chris, we'll get to that on maybe our next live stream or over in style in the podcast, because that's going to take a little bit too long to get into those details, Chris. So we will get to that. That's a good question, though. I will bring that up again. But yeah, I think definitely I agree with you, Rico. That's what it is. And Martin, what it comes down to is professionalism. Martin, what do you see there?
Just one of the comments is a bit offhanded.
Oh, yes, it is right there. Yes.
Which hand, left or right?
Would be considered neither, but it's just a little bit of a touchy subject. But we won't go into that right there.
Okay.
But nonetheless, but yeah, either way, professionalism, I think, is key. That's what we need in professional wrestling. But to recap this show, because we want to let you go to get ready for JCW that's coming up, JCW Lunacy tonight. So in recap, Powerhouse Hobbs lied about his age. So he lost the keys to his Rolls Royce, and he is no longer apparently part of WWE. And again, why lie about your age? They're only going to find out about it when you file out your paperwork to get paid. So idiotic move. He was at his prime. Will he go back to AEW? Will Tony Khan take him back? Oh, wait a minute. We got another super chat from Archie Lee.
Yeah. Dan, thank you, Archie Lee.
Yeah, thank you,
Archie.
So,
read it for me. It's too small for me.
Random question. Do you guys think Stone Cold's true send-off was his last Royal Rumble? If you go back, it was perfectly done. That was the real miss, or the real deal, I guess. Is what you're saying there.
What was
I didn't see it.
Was his last Royal Rumble, was that before WrestleMania 17?
No, I was there. No. I was there for 18, 19, and 20.
No, because he still went on. He was there in 2002. He was at WrestleMania X8. So that wasn't his last one. It must have been 2003 then, I'm guessing, if that was his last Royal Rumble. Archie Lee, what was Steve Austin's last Royal Rumble?
I say the last one he won was just before WrestleMania 17. That was when they built up for him and The Rock.
Yeah, but again, maybe that's what he's saying here, Archie Lee. If you're still there, write that comment. Do you mean when he left his last Royal Rumble, or do you mean when he won the last Royal Rumble? Because he says send-off.
He said true send-off was his last Royal Rumble. I'm trying to think what his last Royal Rumble was.
It probably would have been 2003, I'm sure.
Well, I think it was when I was there, because I was there from 2001 to 2005.
Yeah. His official last match was WrestleMania 19, I believe. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
No, I was there for 19.
Yeah.
And I was there for 20.
Yeah.
At Madison. Yeah. So
I can't remember.
I don't know. Too many chair shots.
Yeah.
Too many chair shots to the head.
So we'll see that. I'm not sure. I don't think it was 99. That would have been
some watching now. I'm gonna have to actually go and watch some good wrestling.
Right, we don't mind watching from the past. So again, and of course, in recap, there. What else did we talk about today? Tickets are still on sale for WWE. We're not going to encourage you to go and spend $50,000 on a ticket. If you want to spend
50 grand, come on.
If they want to spend $50,000, Martin, they can spend it right here.
Spend it on us,
Masters of Wrestling. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You want to put it where money's good, put it right here. But
I need to extend my ranch. I want another acre.
Yeah, well, I just want to build up enough. Well, because Uncle Paul has, there's been something going on in the estate and stuff like that. I have access to a substantial portion of it, but it would be better if I had more. So until that gets rectified with Uncle Paul, your 50 grand would be well received here. Now, but seriously, fans, if you just join and become a channel member for the price of a cup of coffee, $4.99 a month, will be greatly appreciated here. We greatly appreciate you. You can always leave us a super thanks or super chat on even a video that's already passed, and we'll greatly appreciate that. But most importantly as well, make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hype this video. Get it out there into the algorithm. Share it with your friends and family, because we are on a trajectory here. We want you to skyrocket with us all the way to the top. We are the leaders in professional wrestling entertainment in the podcast world right here. Rico, thank you so much for jumping on and doing this little run-in with us.
Yeah, you were talking to, I said, I got to say something. When you start talking about the age, I'm like, okay, I got to put in my 4 cents.
I'm right there with you. I am right there with you.
Well, thank you for having me on the show, and it's always a pleasure with you both, Mr. Stone, Master. If you need me, give me a call.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh,
We will, of course. And we're not going to forget anybody. Do not worry about that. We have no designs on going to the sinking ship that is the Titanic, that is the world whining entertainment. I have no designs on that. And of course, as you know, if you go there, you sign your whole life away. You sign your podcast, everything away. So no, we have no designs.
So yep. I'll be doing that again.
No desire to go there whatsoever. So don't worry about that, John Woodmass.
So, and tune into JCW. It's coming up.
Yep. Tune into JCW tonight. Give us a shout out when you're there, and we appreciate that. And of course, we will see you tomorrow morning. I got more videos coming up tomorrow morning. Martin and I got a few more in the can. We got styling in the can. We got some more Ultimate Truth podcast in the can here, so you will not be disappointed. If you want to see me live tomorrow, make sure you hop on over to the Café de René at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 Eastern, where we will be going live and bringing you more news, breaking news, entertainment, and cold hard truth, ladies and gentlemen. But until the next one.
Oui. Ho, ho.
Le café, oui, avec mon thé et un peu de café. But until the next one, everybody, I want to God bless each and every one of you. I want to give all glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank to our Father in heaven for Rico's healing, for my healing, for our bodies are feeling good. You know, Martin, if you've got anything, we pray for you as well. Keep us in your prayers, ladies and gentlemen. Keep our health first and foremost in your prayers, because that's what's most important. We pray the same for each one of you. But until the next one, we will see you then. God bless. Students, your time has come. I have decided that it's time to share some of my knowledge with you. That's right. Do you want to become a true, legendary professional wrestling character? Do you want to learn how to project your voice, to enunciate, to come up with the greatest promos that you possibly could? Then you need to join me each and every week for just $50. I am hosting a masterclass on Zoom. That's right. You don't have to travel. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. I will teach you how to become the greatest character you can be. I will help you discover who you truly are. I will help you with taglines, promos, etc., etc. Join me for just $50 a week in a masterclass of wrestling character development. There's a reason they call us the masters of wrestling.